Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome, episode 11. Woo! Episode 11. Here in the Gryphon, and it's obviously me, Teo, and Danny, and we have a very special guest today. We have John from the Gryphon.
Here he is.
Hello.
Woo!
You've got a very good tone in your voice as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Husky at the moment because I'm on the hot toddies, but nursing a cold, but we'll get there.
Yeah. We do appreciate you coming, even though
We've done it. We've done it. We've finally got John on the podcast. Yeah. It's happened.
We're going to grill the shit out of him in a while.
When it goes up to 11, yeah, sure.
Yeah! There you go. I like that. I thought of that, actually.
You know, 15 listeners will be like, yeah, who's this John chap?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and, happy days. It's near the end of the year, so that's come around kind of quick. And this one, we kind of mentioned last episode, we were going to do a kind of split just because I'm going back to Ireland and Christmas and everything else.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. We'll probably have 11.1, 11.2.
Well, I also think it gives us a bit of chance to dig in. Obviously, we've got John here, so as all of our listeners know, we record in the Gryphon and stuff. So for those of you who don't know, we can get to chat to the man himself. He's been running this place for 14 years?
14 years, yeah.
14 years.
And being a key part of this podcast too.
Exactly,
One of the original crew when we tried it the first time.
Indeed, yeah.
And obviously we're in the Gryphon, so,
Yeah, there you go.
It's fitting.
So we'll be digging into that a bit after we've done our usual kind of gig talk and everything.
Yeah.
It's all good.
How's your 5-day week going?
Busy. I might have hoisted myself on my own success here. So by trying to do this whole, I'm going to make a decent amount of money in what is normally tattooing quiet season. I have now hoisted myself on doing 5 days of 7 hours of tattooing every day, which has kind of burnt me out a little bit. I'm all right. Got another 5 days. It's going to be fine. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of new clients, a lot of new projects. So I can't really complain.
How long you finished for?
Oh, I'm just 5 more days. Then I just 4 days off. Go see my mum for Christmas. Go and eat cheese. Watch UK Drag Race. Drink some gin. That's pretty much it. Sit in a council flat. Have a good time.
I think I've said this to loads of people before. The whole cheese thing is very weird. Like,
what do you mean cheese?
So when I first came over here, met the now wife, and went for a lovely roast dinner for grandmother. Excellent. Like, very nice. Had a dessert. We had a beer. Excellent. And then it's like, let's have cheese. Like,
cheese and coffee.
Why are we having cheese? And just
you have cheese after everything else.
Like, you've already eaten a 3-course meal. It's fine.
Yeah, roasted brie and all that. Bit of salmon.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
Crackers.
Some walnuts as well.
Exactly.
A couple of grapes.
Yeah. You get weird. It's the same things like. This guy sits here, we're talking about all these bands, and then I mention a band called Goat Horn. He's just like, oh, it's such a weird name for a band. We've just been talking about Fit for an Autopsy and this, that, and the other. He's like, oh, Goat Horn's a weird name for a band. Why is that weird?
I mean, it is. Like,
Why did you get weirded out by the most, inane stuff?
I'm a simple man, what can I say?
Okay, well,
yeah.
It's the only reason I started listening to Goat Hall was because they
Goat
Hall.
Yeah,
exactly.
Probably a lot of people like that. Ooh, that's probably not pissing people off. Let's listen to that.
Yeah.
Like anal cunt, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably. Most people wouldn't tell you what they're like, but
you just get weirded out. Like, you'll just suddenly show up for podcasting. You'll just say, this is really weird. And it's something like totally normal.
But
it's just like, this is really weird. It's like,
remember,
no,
I grew up in the countryside in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know.
Well, case in point, he just said it's weird to eat cheese on Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. Irish tradition special where you just tell us everything about Ireland that you do in Ireland that we'll find weird.
Yeah. I mean, 3 different types of potatoes in Christmas dinner.
Well, there you go.
3 different types of potatoes. Jesus Christ.
Mashed, roasted,
become more of a stereotype if you tried, right?
Oh, definitely. Dolphin noses, as I like to call it.
Don't worry, listeners. In a second, Tom is going to do a little jig. And oh my God, don't actually do the stereotype.
He did it, not us. So
right, it's fine. It's not racist. It's not racist. We didn't do it.
It's funny amount of times I get that. Not off my own back, though. Yeah. A bit of casual racism is fine. We all like it, right? Yeah.
It's all right. Still okay. Irish and Italians, we're still allowed. that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it another 25 years, it'll be, that won't be okay anymore.
Then it'll be someone else's problem.
It'll be the Martians by then.
Probably,
I
don't know, Trump
Coming
is
in
doing
from
a
Mars.
Space Force.
Yeah.
Chances of anything, are there? 1,000,000 to 1, I think it was.
What?
Chances of anything coming from Mars.
Really?
It's 1,000,000 to 1, they say.
Is that a joke?
Just
Not got it.
It's a cultural reference, and you're obviously
No,
yeah.
I don't understand.
It's War of the Worlds. Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds.
That's all.
Fine.
Sorry, sorry.
Good. Thank you, Dan.
Danny did. I didn't. I was just sat here like.
I have it on vinyl.
Okay,
It's,
fair enough.
yeah.
I'm very sorry.
We'll sit down and make you listen to it.
Okay.
Nathaniel, the big skull behind the bar, he's
Yeah.
called Nathaniel because of one of the characters from Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Well, not from War of the Worlds. Jeff
Yeah.
Wayne didn't come up with Nathaniel.
So wait, I'm confused. Is it because it was originally like a radio thing,
Yeah, it
right?
was a- yeah,
and
it was
then,
a
and then
radio-
everyone thought it was
a
real.
radio play, yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone thought was it. What was he called? The famous guy who's involved in it?
Richard Burton.
No, somebody else. I thought it was like the guy directing movies. He did Citizen Kane. Wasn't he involved in it? Why do I think he's involved in it?
I can't picture.
Okay, no.
Can't
I'm getting
picture
lost.
the
I'm
name.
getting us lost in the weeds. I'm very sorry. I've shown
There was an original radio play which scared a lot of
Yeah, it
Americans
scared
'cause
people and they
thought
were
it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the late 80s, early 90s, Jeff Wayne, musical composer, set an amazing score to the backtrack of War of the Worlds,
For
the
listeners,
score,
I'm a cultural
which did have
Luddite.
Richard Burton as the narrator.
Every time he's mentioning War of the Worlds, all I can picture is Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise running around.
Every time I'm just watching Tom Cruise running through like parked cars, like trying to get to his kids or something. Like
Not like
That's unfortunately.
That's not his story.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, back onto the topic. This is going to happen for the next 2 hours or so. We'll split it. It'll all be fine. Everyone will enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it, right? Yes. Did you do the Spotify Unwrapped thing? That was Spotify Unwrapped.
Oh, the unwrap. Yeah. Well, mine's always fucked because like I use Spotify for running D&D, so like Spotify's
loads of
like
hours.
you listen to this like ambient tavern music for 1,600 hours, and it's like well, yeah, because it was on in the background for like fucking D&D sessions. So my rap's always a bit weird. It was. I mean, Charlie XCX, obviously. Von Dutch was up there. Surprisingly, a fair bit of Guilt Trip, which are the Manchester hardcore outfit. There was quite a bit of them on there. So yeah, kind of a mix of hardcore, ambient, fantasy music and hyperpop, which is kind of really sums it up, I guess.
What about numbers wise, listening hours and
Oh
minutes?
yeah. I'm scarily in the top like 0.2% for certain things. So I just get obsessed with the song. That's the problem, especially with the like specific songs.
Can I give a potential flex or also maybe
Go
a
for
little
it.
bit weird?
Go on.
But I'm the top 0.005 listener for baby metal.
There you go.
Nice. I think I'm up there with you.
Yes, let's go.
Good old baby metal.
Oh yeah.
Didn't they just announce a tour?
It was a new song with
a new song with Bloodywood,
Bloodywood.
wasn't it? Yeah.
It's very good, actually.
Oh, is it actually out? I
Yeah.
thought they just announced it. Oh, okay.
It's exactly what you think of if you put all those bands together. Like, that sounds weird, but it's exactly what you think.
I've always, baby metal always great. I mean, like I said, like that song they did with Bring Me the Horizon is easily like probably my favourite Bring Me the Horizon song. So like, because I just really love it.
I saw them at Download years ago before they ever were a thing over here.
Right.
And they were on the main stage, and like obviously people go to the main stage like even if you don't know the bands because you're kind of going, well, they're on the main stage, they're surely going to be good. It started like with all this kind of techno and like this fucking light fox thing in the sky. You're like, okay, this is a bit weird. And then this raging metal starts. Like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then these 3 Japanese girls come out on stage in school uniforms dancing, and we're like, what is going on? But yeah, they're actually crazy aggressive, which is great.
No, it's great.
It's quite cool, quite a good mix.
The main guy who's like behind them is really interesting because he's like really into his metal, isn't he? Like,
Yeah, the background band is a kami band, and they're all professional
Like really-
metal musicians.
yeah,
So they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
There was a rumour that one of them was the guy from Dragon Force.
Herman Lee has done some collaborations with Baby Metal, so I think he's written a couple of songs for them.
Would he not come out and say that himself, though, rather than hiding as the faceless ghouls, whatever they're called?
Not as well. I mean, I'm sure he has on all
He's
of
probably
his.
credited in the songs.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
He just like because he wrote, you write songs, you don't.
But
just
it's
come out
like
and
all
say,
the
like, you
the
write
huge
songs.
artists that you have, and they've got like 60 writers. You're not going to come out and go,
Yeah.
here's all of the writers that wrote this one pop song for this one solo singer, and it's terrible. It's like, but yeah, he's kind of like one of those background writers that will go, oh yeah, I wrote that.
It's because, like, you know, they are a J-pop band at the end of the day. Like, you know,
there's a term for it, isn't there? It's
idol bands. They're an idol band.
They started off as an idol band.
They're not popular anymore, but they started off as one.
And then three of them got kind of like handpicked to start baby metal as this new concept of J-pop.
But like there's a whole, we could talk for ages about like the idol culture in Japan and especially like South Korea and stuff. It's like it's a whole industry. It's very like complex and there's a lot of like things that happen there and stuff. So yeah.
Presumably those three be replaced when they hit a certain age, right?
That's what it used to be, but not anymore, I think.
Yeah, so from the original three, I think Mo Metal was the one that left. So they've got two of
the older one, the kind of main one, the central middle one.
No, that's Sue Metal. These are the main ones. She's still there. Yeah. She's still the front person for Baby Metal, and her voice is incredible. Yeah. As she's matured into, I think she's mid-20s now.
That's
24,
what's
25.
Changed them from an idols band is the fact that they got so big that they, because like you are right, Tom, they normally in idol culture they get replaced when they kind of
like the Sugar Babes. Constantly replace a member.
Let's be honest, like Western pop bands have also done that for quite a long time. Is trade members.
And now they've gone full circle and they're back to the original lineup.
Yes,
Sugar Babes,
right?
Baby Metal did disappear to a duo, and then they brought in a third member fairly recently, about 15 months ago. And I've seen them 4 or 5 times. I love Baby Metal.
The
last time I was with Sabaton, and that was incredible.
Oh wow!
Was that when Lordy opened?
Yes, Lordy, Baby Metal, and Sabaton in Cardiff.
Every time I always feel bad for Lordy. I remember, I think it happened on here, didn't it, where you were talking about Lordy, and like people going, wait, what do you mean the Australian pop girls? Like, I was like, what? Like, I get really confused.
Thankfully, we mean the ones who probably spent about 3 days getting into makeup.
Yeah.
And had one song that we all know.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you go see them, right?
Yeah.
A bit of hard rock hallelujah. But John, how's your Spotify? Do you have the Gryphon connected to Spotify, or is that a different account?
Occasionally. So mine personal one and the Gryphon do overlap quite a lot, so it is a bit of a mess. I
overlap a lot. How do you
overlap a lot? I mean, I have incredibly eclectic taste in music anyway, so I listen to pretty much anything and everything. So when on my personal time when the pub is closed, I may be listening to like some old school hip hop or
did not know this.
Lots of ska or classical music stuff.
You spend all day working and listening to metal. You kind of it's almost like a job. You go home, take the metal.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm obviously created my business around heavy metal and rock, which is obviously doing very well for me in respect of opening me up to all these new artists in that. But yeah,
you
occasionally
have crazy knowledge about stuff. Like, I haven't come across a band that I found that I've gone to. Oh, I found this new band. Like, I haven't.
They played here 3 years ago.
Welcome to the show.
I mean, I don't claim to be a huge music boffin. I mean, I don't have encyclopedic knowledge of all of these bands that come through. I know what I like, so I'll be introduced to stuff, or I'll find stuff and that kind of thing, and then whether I like it or not is a different matter. But there are people who do drink in here who do have encyclopedic knowledge of every single band, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go over there now.
A few of them have talked to me at the bar, especially when they've got a couple of drinks in them, and it's just like, and then the drummer from this band had this side project, and he did a solo doom metal project, and then this, and then that, and you're just like, oh my god, what's happening? I don't like.
Which is great if you want to find something out.
It's great. But then just like half the time I'm sat there like with that beautiful mind thing happening with like equations coming at me. I'm just like, what the fuck?
But in terms of me finding stuff, it's just like related artists, all that kind of stuff. Facebook, you look at touring bands and you look at their poster lineup, see who else they're playing with, and if you've never seen, you read a band on a poster and you go, I've never heard of them before, and you go check them out, absolutely. And then you discover a new band, and I've done that recently with a gig. Went to see Wheel at the Thekla, Finnish prog tech band. They're absolutely incredible, and it was a bit confusing because a lot of people didn't know who was supporting because they had, I think, 3 separate support bands across like a load of dates, but only certain bands were only doing a couple of dates.
That thing in the poster where it's got little symbols next to which one's actually playing on what.
So for Bristol, there was lots of names coming up, and it turned out not to be any of those bands. And then a band that was eventually supporting them wasn't mentioned anywhere really that I could find.
Oh, okay.
It's a band called Murph from Iceland, and they were absolutely incredible.
Scandinavian.
Yeah, and it just stuff like that. Just
what kind of stuff were they? Were they like more kind of like proggy metal stuff, or?
They were kind of blackened prog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting approach.
Verging on not full on black metal, but they were very atmospheric. Songs are like 12 minutes at least, which is fantastic. So
you probably heard us say it in the last few episodes. This kind of new take on blackened is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many bands coming out now with like the touch of black, but like it's not just raw black metal anymore. Like there's so much more to it now.
Yeah,
it's
blackened
really good.
crust. Blackened grindcore.
It's been the blackened hardcore for me. These bands like Lynn and Hexus and all that kind of stuff. You know, this like real like.
It's a real cool fusion. Yeah, it really works really well.
Yeah, there's been definitely, and you know, to be honest, like we talked about on the podcast before, a little bit. Got to be honest, kind of appreciating this new recording style a little bit more. I understand that black metal has a big history with its kind of recording styles and stuff, but like actually having some of these bands with, you know, because like I said, you know, you get a Damnation, then you actually watch half of these bands and like you've listened to the stuff and I'm just like, oh god, the singer sounds like he's like 2 houses away, and then you see them live with the singer actually doing like the stuff like live, and you're like, why don't you just record it like that? They sound so good, like, you know. Something
has to be said about bands doing live albums, but it still doesn't quite capture it. But you know, it is the closest thing other than going to see them, I guess. But it's kind of blown my mind this year. The whole
it's really coming into a lot of different things, and it's really interesting to see how influential black metal has kind of become, you know, especially from, you know, like it really seems to have seeped out into a lot of different genres now.
Definitely.
Even like I gotta be honest, like there's even some bits of it in like kind of like quite mainstream rock and pop. There's some elements that are kind of starting to sneak in. Do you know what I mean? You can just tell that like the musicians who are maybe behind creating some of these tracks are like, maybe, you know, they were like fans of whatever, you know what I mean. You can kind of see it kind of seeping into stuff, so it's really interesting.
So you've 2 Spotify accounts then, one for the Gryphon, one of your own, or you've just got 2 profiles set up on your account?
It's all shared, so
What's the, so go on then, what's the top songs?
What's the top songs and your numbers?
Well, it's actually pretty good. So I think Strapping Young Lad were my number 1 band.
Nice.
Is that from the Gryphon one or your one?
That's the Gryphon one.
Yeah, so I was going to say, because that's Mel, that's the manager. Mel on her own puts on enough Strapping Young Lads.
I saw Strapping Young Lad in 2006.
Oh, yes.
Just before they went on to hiatus. It's just like finally got to see the band, and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't either, have they?
Was that the Download show?
They've never played. They haven't reformed since, but Devin has done. So the last time Devin played Bloodstock Festival last year. He did a fan set list, so there was a lot of Strapping Young Lad in there.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I think he came out on stage to Love, and I was just like, because I never really got into a lot of Devin's solo project stuff. There's a couple of songs that were quite infectious, like Kingdom or March of the Poozers, but I never really kind of stuck around long enough to kind of get it.
For me, it's like weird, like Animals I really liked, and there was a few other like tracks like that, and then the whole kind of rock opera stuff I could really I could appreciate it, and there were some tracks in there, but I just never bought into the whole like lore thing that was going on with that, and it was like, there's a green alien puppet, I don't quite understand what's going on here, it looks cool, everyone else is excited,
Is it Ziltoid?
That's it, Ziltoid, and everyone's obsessed with it, and it's just like, it's the whole thing, and there's all this lore and stories and all this thing going on, I'm just like, okay.
But he played about 6 or 8 Strapping Young Lad songs, so I was happy with that.
That's good. That's really cool.
Did you see he came out when Sheen had released, not the last album, the album before, which was kind of going back to their new metal kind of front. They had a song that the riff was completely ripped from Love, And obviously every metalhead was like, oh, that's just love. And Devin Townsend himself actually came out and was like, who cares, it's a cool riff. Like, rock on, you're enjoying it, cool. If you happen to think it sounds like mine, who cares?
I do like him, he's a really interesting man. Obviously, you know, like he's had a lot of mental health issues over the years as well, and the fact that he's kind of like got through like a lot of that, and like the addiction issues and things, is always like been quite inspirational in that way, you know. So good old Devon.
Quite surprised that was kind of top of the Gryphon though.
Like, I mean,
Fat Young Land aren't relevant. I don't mean that in an insulting way. It was like they disbanded in 2006. Like they're not a band that people are going to be talking about often.
They're a very big cult. I mean, if Devon ever said that they were reforming, that's like, that would probably sell out quicker than Linkin Park did recently. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would just, that would go. If Slapping Young Lad said we're getting back together and we're going to tour,
that would be a bloodstock headliner right there,
wouldn't it? Oh my God, that'd be gone. That'd be gone in seconds, that would.
What kind of minutes were you looking at? Must have been in millions.
Probably. I mean, I didn't pay too close attention to that kind of stuff because it's, like I said, because it's such a mashup of what I listen to in my personal time plus what's being played in the pub when they're open. It's not really particularly relevant to what's going on.
For mine, I was quite happy that I got within the 12% of the global listens. I was like, well, that's good. And the DJ, I don't know if you ever listened to the Spotify DJ thing. It's like an AI bot.
I never really fucked with that, but
Well, you could do the rap through it, and he basically told me off for only listening to the DJ for over 100 hours.
Really?
I was like, all right.
Use our AI system.
He's like, I want you to listen to me more. I'm like, okay, that can be arranged. It's the rap thing's been kind of fun though. I quite like it because.
So what was yours then? You said you got into the top 12 listeners.
So it was 300 and something thousand minutes, which is a lot. 774 different bands I listened to.
That's good.
Which is
cool.
Pretty good. Top 12% globally of worldwide listeners. Which I was like, that's not too bad at all. And what I like about it is the fact I also have an Amazon account, which is all the speakers in my house. So it's not actually reflective totally of my entire listening. So
Fair enough. Do you know if it counts the playlist stuff? Because I listen to a lot of playlists on mine.
It does.
I think it does. Oh, okay. That's good. That's cool to know. Yeah, because that's the thing is like obviously I listen to a lot of different stuff, but I definitely use Spotify's like playlist feature or radio feature quite a lot. Like I'll go, I like the vibe of this band today.
Do more like this one.
Put the radio on. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to know that they actually take that into account. Because I was always a bit worried that they only took it into account if you went to a specific artist's profile and then listen to their stuff there.
The top bands that came off me were Blood Red Hourglass and Eyed Enemy.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Blood Red are really good.
They're really good. They're playing in January.
Yes, with Halo Effect and Pain.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yes, I shall be there.
Nice early gig of the. Where is it?
Yes, Fleece.
Nice. Okay, that'll be a good show. Yeah.
So Halo Effect are former members of current members of In Flames and Dark Tranquillity.
Yeah. They're really good. I saw them when they opened here a few years back.
Yeah, I missed that gig. So this will be the first time I finally got to see them.
And when they played, they were opener, but the sound guy, because they were opener, didn't give a shit. But they drew such a crowd. Everyone was like, these guys are really good.
Well, yeah, they are seasoned musicians.
Well, they're basically a super. Like as I said, they're basically a super group, aren't they? Like,
In Flames and Dark Tranquillity set the Gothenburg sound for everyone. And
it's the singer from Dark Tranquillity, isn't it?
Yes, I've been listening to them for 25 years at least.
Good old In Flames.
Yeah, that's something cool.
God, how long have In Flames been? Sorry, just something.
I think they're on about 35 years.
That's
like
literally
that.
my age. So they started in the very late 80s, early 90s.
Fucking In Flames.
Yes.
They've been so good throughout the years.
Yeah, that's.
And every time I've seen them live, they end up cracking a rib, which is quite frustrating. It's 3 times.
The In Flames curse.
2 weeks later, I'm like, oh my god, my ribs are killing me.
The next time he sees them, he just stands right at the back, like next absolutely no one, gets absolutely nothing, and then just like walks down the stairs out of the gig. It's just like gets him like.
Happened to Bloodstock as well, but that was more of a kind of wall of death problem. But always In Flames, and I don't know why, because I've seen a lot heavier bands. It's just when they come on, just the place just explodes. And it's always.
Would that be your worst mosh story?
Oh, worst mosh story.
Like, what's your number one worst mosh injury, or like scariest mosh moment?
I think when I saw Machine Head many years ago in the circle pit, and I got hit in the head, and things start to go a bit fuzzy, and then you start to feel liquid on your face. You're like, that's not sweat and that's not beer. And then the entire crowd just separated. I was like, oh shit, I need to go find a doctor or paramedic or someone. So I walked around the corner and there was a bunch of paramedics there. And she's like, oh Jesus, another one. I was like, cool, whatever. Nice. And there was another guy sat there holding his eye together as well. And this was like, well, good fucking gig though. He was like, yeah. I was like, which one of us is worse? And she's like, he's probably worse because it's his face together. Like,
the guy holding his face together.
She's like, I was like, do I need stitches? She's like, maybe. Let's see. Give it 10 minutes. We'll see. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't need stitches, but I think that was probably one of the worst because it was the realization of everyone that was just like, oh, you need to leave.
Yeah.
But like, I can feel this flowing down my face. This is not pleasant. How about you guys? Well, you.
What about you, John?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be necessarily the worst injury, but like the scariest mosh moment where you're like, oh fuck, like.
I don't know. I mean, I think I've been fairly lucky in terms of coming out of mosh pits unscathed. I don't think I've had any serious injuries or cuts or bruises or anything. I mean, I don't go full pelt or I certainly haven't for the last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
In the early days when I first started gigging, so would have been, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s. It was a lot of like skate punk gigs, that kind of stuff. So it was more skanking rather than moshing.
Right.
Skanking?
Yeah.
What? Come on, did we talk about
skanking? Is the ska equivalent to moshing.
It's funny enough. It's weird. My mum was a big ska fan back in the 80s in London.
So your mother was
it's almost in a weird way like a little bit similar to like hardcore two-stepping.
Yeah, so hardcore two-step is like the forwards leaning of ska punk, which is
so my mum used to tuck your thumbs into your braces because they all used to wear braces, and then you do a little two-step like this, and that's what we used to do.
And then you kick your feet out
like
in front
madness,
of you.
Whatever gets us all moving, I suppose.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and then you can do really fast skanking to bands like Mad Caddies and stuff like that. Just like really.
It's called skanking.
Yeah, it's called skanking. Yeah,
no one else is finding it hot, no?
No, it's just you again. It's just you. Do you not listen to ska? Danny, come on, you know skanking. Exactly, Danny's nodding. Everyone's nodding. It's just you, man.
Yeah. Skanking is the thing, apparently.
You're saying it like it's like some... Oh, dear.
You can skank at a Flogging Molly gig. I've skanked at Flogging Molly gigs. Yeah.
It's great. I've had a good skank in my time as well.
But yeah, a lot of the hardcore two-step is very similar to skanking.
Yeah, but like more elbows.
It's more kind of like
more forwards and
core
more
front
elbows.
heavy, and it's
It's like the kind of twisted.
I guess it's a bit more tolerable than windmilling and crowd killing. That kind of stuff.
Which comes with the hardcore territory. So when we talk about the gig things later on, like I said, there's one gig which I have tickets for, which I'm a little bit worried about. It's going to be quite heavy on that.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of actual injuries and mosh pits, I think I've survived.
It's like not been too bad.
A couple of my favourite stories was the first time I ever saw Opeth. I think it was 2003. Deliverance. I think it was the Deliverance tour.
Nice.
Opeth in a 200 cap venue, absolutely incredible.
Wow,
O2 Academy in Birmingham, and they played Drapery Falls, which is the song that properly got me into heavy metal. But I'd only ever heard the 6-minute radio edit that came on a free CD with Metal Hammer.
Yeah.
So when they got to the end, what I thought was the end, the 6 minutes, I was like absolutely loving it. And then they carried on playing, and I was like, "What is going on? What is happening?
There's another 2 minutes of this
insane."
song.
Well, then it went on for another like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of the mosh pit, and I lost my shoe halfway through.
Wow.
And I then spent the rest of the gig hopping around, going, "Has anyone seen my shoe?"
Didn't have the usual. I love seeing a good shoe hold. You know, I've seen that in the mosh pit when someone's obviously found some clothing and like a shoe, and they're just like holding it up. Like,
it usually gets back to its owner, to be fair.
It does, to be fair.
Well, that's the thing. So when the gig finished and the house lights came up and everyone dispersed, my shoe was still in the middle of the dance floor, and I was like, "Oh,
nice.
Thank God for that." So that was fun. And another experience was seeing Arch Enemy at Donington in 2006.
Actually, like
I
crazy.
was like right in the middle, and then this circle pit just started around me, and it just didn't touch me at all. So I just stood there in the middle, carried on watching the band, and I got an amazing video of it as well. And it's just this circle pit just going round me, and it's like there's no point getting involved. Just get a better view of the band. So,
it's actually funny because like the amount of gigs that go to, we're actually standing on the edge of the pit. Because you have the most space. Okay, you get the occasional elbow or head or whatever, but you've got the most space and the best view. So it's like, okay, I can be big enough to be the wall to stop people getting fucked up. That's fine. Like, but it's a kind of fun experience. But definitely, the age is showing. I think you got to look at it now and kind of
I'm definitely. I'm kind of every now and again there's a band where I'll
throw shapes.
I'll go for it and I'll throw some shapes. Yeah.
I remember years ago we would see it was Unholy Lines. Was that over here? It must have been. So it was Slayer headlined. It was Lamb of God, In Flames. Children
that's not the Slayer final tour.
No, this is
Is that Defenders of the Faith?
It wasn't Defenders of the Faith. What was it called? The Unholy Lines tour is what it was.
Okay.
But anyway, all bands ripped the place apart. Yeah, but Children of Bodom were the openers. I love Children of Bodom, anyway, it was class to see them. But there was pits everywhere, and these bunch of kids, they must have been 12, started a little pit by themselves, and everyone went, cool, let them do their thing, because we're all towering over them, this is, let them do their thing. Yeah. And there's always the one guy in the pit, he's shirt off, balls, sweating like a paedophile, straight into the middle of him. Yeah. And he was just like throwing clubs. I was just like absolutely battering these kids. So I just turned to these random fellas that were next to me and was like, this isn't on. Fuck this guy.
He's beating the kids up. Let's get in there and get this.
So we made him have a very bad day. So if he was on this show, he would probably say the scariest one he had was when about 15 bigger dudes than him came in and he was the target.
15 Irish men came on.
That's scary for anyone.
It's pretty. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
How about you, Theo? Other than nearly breaking your toe raised by owls?
Well, that's the most recent one. Oh, that's fucking. It still hurts every now and again. It's like fuck. I actually did something to it. It was just that one was so funny.
Here?
Yeah. So it's just sort of look like I'm wearing these new like kind of fancy Doc Martens. I'm not wearing them today, but like I wear them like looser like skate shoes. And of course, like we're just having a bit of a jolly and all this. The race bar, it's a great time. Having a bit of course, my shoe just like slips off my foot. Just as this big guy just steps backwards and of course just crunches one of my toes. Anyway, not broken, but yeah. Scariest, like funny enough, saves like you said about your shoe earlier on. Like I had a really lucky save at 2,000 Trees a couple of years ago. Not this year, the year before. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, so not this year, the year before. And I wasn't even like I didn't realise I was that close, but I think it might have even been like Electric Six were playing like, and they had this like longer set. It was really good, like because Electric Six are a great band.
We missed
really
good.
I know. I was gutted, but they are, like I said when we were talking about that. If you get a chance to go see Electric Six, go see Electric Six. They're actually brilliant, and that album that everyone only knows 2 songs off is actually brilliant all the way through from start to finish. But they're great. Really fun band, but I didn't realise kind of how into it I was getting, because I was just having a bit of a dance in the crowd, and I wasn't like in the middle bit, but then I kind of obviously must have shunted closer. Next thing you know, it's kind of kicking off a bit. I catch an elbow slightly, my glasses go flying. They land on the floor.
Oh dear.
I somehow managed to, because obviously as soon as my glasses come off, my depth perception goes, I can't see jack shit. But I somehow managed to follow the trajectory. I see them land, I see this guy's foot go up, and I honestly, like Neo from the Matrix, just like saw the green lines and just went and like managed to get my glasses up off the floor, like just as this guy's foot came down. Yeah. And I'm not joking, I grabbed them, put them back on, and this girl just like leaned over to me and went, "That was really good, mate." I was like, "We're gonna get those." I was like, "Fair enough." That's more of a safe. Did I tell the Lamb of God circle pit story?
I think so.
This is so years ago. This is like Sacrament era Lamb of God. I think it was either Download or Sonosphere. I can't remember.
Sonosphere, love that festival. So good.
I know. I miss Sonosphere. It was a really good time. But it was Sacrament era Lamb of God anyway. So like obviously they're on stage, they're kicking ass, like moshing away. I'm young at the time, so whatever. Like Randy was like, "Oh, we're gonna get the circle pit going. We're gonna get the circle pit." we're all like kind of starting to move out to like get ready for the circle pit to start because he's going to kick into the next song. And I see this, and I'm not joking, she obviously, a bit like what you said about the 12 years, obviously like probably isn't that young, but looked like she was like 8 years old. So I kind of, and she was shorter than me, so I kind of like just whoop, like kind of duck around, like, oh sorry, like, you know, like I'm just like I almost bashed into you, I'm just going to duck around you. She just looks me dead in the eye and punches me so hard in the stomach, just punched me so hard. I'm like now gagging on the floor, like I can't breathe. I've just been winded so badly. And then the Lamb of God mosh pit starts up. I'm like Mufasa in The Lion King, watching the fucking, you know, like trying to like holding my stomach, like limping forward so I don't just get like run over by like Lamb of God fans. Like, yeah, that was
or an angry 8-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like, honestly, she just looked me in the like she just looked me in the eye, and it was kind of, with no malice. That's, I remember it. It's not like she looked at me like she hated me. She just looked at me blankly and then just punched me in the stomach really hard. And then probably the other one, weirdly enough, was when Rage Against the Machine played Download. It was after the Christmas #1 thing, and it was like the first time they played in years. And I got kind of near the middle, and it was just rammed. Yeah. It was more one of those ones where that was scary because like
people wanted to cause damage.
I mean, it wasn't just cause damage. It was like you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Like the only way of getting out would have been to like crowd surf to one of the barrier bits and get dragged out by security. Like that was it. Like you just, so it was like jump or get trampled, move or get crushed. Like everyone was there, and you know they Rage Against the Machine are absolutely smashing it, and you know, like fucking, you know, of course then finish with Killing in the Name of, which is what they got to #1, wasn't it? Simon Cowell's a fucking cunt. And I was like, oh shit, he's a bah. Anyway, so yeah, that was a pretty scary moment because it was just one of those bits of like, you have to move with this crowd, or you're fucked. Like that's it. There's no getting out of this middle bit here. Like there wasn't even that much moshing because you couldn't move. It was so sardines. It was more just like people just going, you know, pushing around.
I was sitting there once. You just reminded me of it when I was saw Slipknot years and years ago, and the crowd just went fucking nuts. Yeah. So there was pits everywhere. Like you couldn't even be the wall of the pit because there was just so many pits around you. And it was one of those where like I was flying around the circle. I was like, I actually need to stop. I'm sweating too much. I need to stop. I need water. I need something. And then you're kind of going,
you realise you can't get out. That's it. You're in it till the end. Like you just got to wait for the band to finish at that point, you know. And if you can manage to slide your way out, maybe slightly, then you know.
Or get a sneaky crowd surf. But I'm 6'1" and you know, you know, 15 stone. So it's like it's an effort.
Oh, that's Slipknot crowd would have done it. Yeah, all the times I've like hurt myself or broken bones, it's been like really random. Like I haven't, like I broke 3 toes at a Slipknot show years and years ago. But I didn't really know that I was just getting crushed into like the barriers at the front, and I was like, oh, and then like afterwards I was like, my foot really hurts, and it was like, oh, my toes are broken. And then the other main one I used to get, because my bottom teeth got smashed in a fight when I was really young, so I used to get them capped. And then I started going to shows when I moved to Bristol when I was 17, for the second time. And I just catch like a random elbow or a random head in a mosh pit, and I suddenly swallowing all this porcelain. Oh. So I just stopped getting them capped now. I'm not bothered anymore because I just get them knocked out all the fucking time. Just gonna have to go back to the dentist and spend like 80 quid getting them all like recapped again.
What happened to you? Lamb of God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like the Gillinger escape plan or like something like that, you know. Yeah. So yeah.
Going back to your glasses thing, remember when we went to see Wormrot in Cardiff?
God, yeah.
You're just like, John, hold my glasses, I'm going in.
Oh, mate, I felt like...
And I tucked myself into a corner because it was just insane.
It was really heavy.
I think the barrier got taken away in like the second song.
Yeah, they were just like, we can't
bent
do
to
this.
fuck, so they were like, well, there's no
we
point.
have to rip the barrier out.
So they took the barrier off.
Yeah, it was great.
While they were still playing? Or
The security were just like, well, we can't do... Like, they literally, like, they started playing and everyone just, like, crushed forwards and it just...
And then the barrier just buckled and properly bent. And it's like half on stage, half off.
So
they were like, we'll take that off. And then everyone was just like, there's a couple of guys doing like forward rolls off the stage into the middle of the mosh pit.
Yeah,
it was carnage. It was great fun.
Grindcore meets the hardcore.
I remember you handed me your glasses and you were like, please hold these.
I'm going in the pit. And then like realised that I was getting older because I like did about like 3 songs and was like came back out to John and was like, I think I'm done. Like, I'm not sure I can do this anymore.
Happens best of us.
Yeah.
It would be scary going into a pit with glasses, though. That is.
I mean, normally what I do, if I'm clever, like if I go, like normally when I go to, like I said, the Electric Six thing was a bit of an accident, but normally now if I go to festivals and stuff, I make sure I have like a hard glasses case that I keep in my bag, or like put in like a side pocket or something, because then I know that it's going to be fine.
Can you do contacts or anything? Or?
No, my eyes are too fucked. Like contacts, even nowadays with how much contacts 6 years ago would have cost me £180 a time.
Oh, bloody hell.
Now, even with the ones that it would cost me £90 every 2 months to have contacts.
Right.
Yeah. So, because my eyes are still haven't managed to get contacts that, reusable that quickly. Yeah. So, I'm still looking about £90 every 2 months for contacts.
But I guess if you were to use them, then you'd only keep it for certain
I mean,
things.
yeah,
like
true. But then you've got to think about like there's plenty of stories of people who wear contacts in mosh pits and they end up getting knocked up into like the back of your eyes and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like yeah.
It's a dangerous sport, Renta, isn't it?
Yeah, love it though. That's
it's difficult to explain it to people, isn't it? Because for the most part, it's not you're going in there to hurt people. That's not at all. There's a few people in there that want to hurt people, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, that's rare though. I still say that it's
skinhead, sweaty, shirt off. Normally.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes you get that dude at gigs, but like a lot of the times, like people really do look after each other.
Yeah. It's crazy. You can be in a totally violent pit, and as soon as you go down, you'll have like 50 hands.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people doing the whole kind of ring around you to like help you get up off the floor and stuff, and trying to help you up. So
have you ever tried to tie your shoe in a live pit?
No.
Why
would you try and do that? Why would you?
Because I didn't want to lose my shoe, and I could see that it was flailing everywhere.
I've had two different times. I've had the soles of my shoe ripped off in a mosh pit.
So you left with just
once at gallows. Yes, my whole bottom of my boot just got ripped off in and 2 songs in, and I'm in the middle of the mosh pit with
beer on the floor.
Yeah, it's just boot with no sole left on it, just going, oh fuck, sake.
Time for that.
Yeah,
that's good. Should we talk about some gigs?
We better talk about some gigs. Yeah,
it's kind of in tone with where we normally are. John, you probably are aware of a lot of these, but let's hit you with some. So first one I'm coming across. So these aren't in date because I couldn't find them in date. So they are when they are. We got Throne with I want to say Crystal Lake.
Yes, Crystal Lake. Yeah.
Graphic Nature.
Yeah.
And Unity. Yeah. Which is also a brewery. I don't know if they're linked, but
no, I don't
think so. Fish
but they're playing the Fleece, aren't they?
They are, yeah. The Fleece on April 23rd.
When is it again?
April 23rd.
April 23rd. So it's a while away.
It is.
It's a while away.
How do we know all those? Well, I know you're excited about Tron.
Yeah. I mean, I know a bit of Crystal Lake and Graphic Nature as well. That's going to be I think it's going to be a fun gig. I'm definitely going to go because I've wanted to see Throne. Obviously, I really like them. I've wanted to see them quite a long time. So it'd be nice seeing them at the Fleece as well. I think that'll be a really good gig.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just weird. Like they've always been like the opening support band for a bunch of these shows, and it's just always for bands that I don't care. Like You, Me at 6 or like While She Sleeps, and it's like I'm not paying While She Sleeps like £35-40
just
ticket price just to see the opening band, which is the only one I really care about. So yeah,
that was recent, wasn't it?
Fairly, yeah. That was the other. I think we were recording the podcast last time, weren't we? And they were here. Yeah, so I'll be nice to see them. Obviously, they're playing Bloodstock as well, so that'll be good too. So yeah, but
I don't know much by them, but definitely.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, like when we were doing our top 3s in the last episode, that album for me is up there. Like it was in my top 3. I listened to it a lot. I really like their sound, like kind of doomy hardcore, basically. Kind of, it's great.
John, you any thoughts on any of those?
Yeah, I saw the announcement for the Throne gig. I've come across Crystal Lake every now and then. They tend to crop up on those little YouTube shorts of the try not to headbang stuff, and then suddenly Crystal Lake comes on. And there's a guy just really struggling not to headbang because they're pretty heavy deathcore.
Yeah.
Are they Japanese? I think.
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah, but they're Crystal Lake are a really fun band. I need to listen to them more. I haven't listened to them enough, and I need to give them a bit more time. But yeah,
so tempted by that one certainly.
Crystal Lake is reference to Jason Voorhees, right? Is it Crystal Lake Jason Voorhees is?
No. Is it? No. Lake Pleasant's the Friday the 13th stuff.
There's definitely Crystal Lake with a.
It's definitely a reference to something. I can't think what it is off the top of my head though. But I don't think it's the Jason Voorhees one. I think that's Lake Pleasant.
Lake Pleasant.
Yeah, I think that was the joke. It's called Lake Pleasant.
What other ones did I come across? Oh, John, you're very you are happy about this one now because you already got your ticket. Decklock.
Yes.
Finally in Europe.
I haven't got a ticket yet.
Oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Where are they playing again? London.
London.
Yeah.
Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Shepherd's Bush Empire. That's going to be good.
I think it's only London, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think there's any other.
So they've been announced for quite a few European mainland festivals.
Yeah.
So I think they got announced for Hellfest.
That's what
and when I saw that, I was like, please,
UK.
please, UK.
Please don't come to download so we don't have to fucking go to download and watch it.
I don't pay 400 quid to go see Decklock.
Exactly.
Every year for the past 18 years that I've been going to Bloodstock, I'm just like, please book Deathclock. It will be amazing.
That will be so
Every
cool.
year I'm just like, Deathclock.
You'd think that they managed to get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they've always toured just North America, nothing else.
Yeah.
And then with the whole bullshit with Adult Swim and they got cancelled and all of that, then Brendan Small couldn't tour as Deathclock, so he created Galacticon 2, which is equally as good, but it just wasn't the closure that we needed.
I mean, I fucking love that show.
So to see them come back finally, Adult Swim have got a new CEO who recommissioned.
Yes,
after the whole,
they had the blow up of Adult Swim and like all of that stuff. Like that guy before him just blew it all up, and loads of creators were really upset about what had happened to their shows. Loads of creators were like not just them, was it?
So now all these big festivals are coming out and going, we will book, and then finally, got announced for UK.
I need to get.
It is London, of course.
I know, but you're gonna have to. Going to have to get a ticket because it's going to sell out. Is it? Okay, it's going to sell out.
I think
have to get a ticket.
I think Standing has already sold out. There are a few.
Fuck's sake,
there's a few tickets left for balcony seats.
Gonna have to.
Few.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how many.
I knew.
Otherwise, there's the meet and greets.
Deathlock show in the UK. Of course, it was going to fucking sell out that quickly. I knew. It's just that time of year, and then they announce these big shows.
How much was the ticket?
Standing was £47, which is very reasonable considering it was going through O2 and Ticketmaster.
And what do we say every episode?
Fuck the O2, man. Ticketmaster.
There are also meet and greet tickets available if you want to.
That's it now, Tom. We're going to have to spend out the extra. Let's spend 150 quid to get the meet and greet.
Yeah, it gets you into like an exclusive sound check for like 10-15 minutes, and then like a poster, and then a quick meet and greet before the show.
That's going to be very expensive,
but they're like 200 quid minimum. So.
But I was looking at that, like I was always looking at that for the Corn show this year.
Yeah,
because it was all sold out and everything, and I was always looking at like, well, I could do a VIP ticket for like maybe like it's kind of part of me is like 150 quid, 190 quid VIP ticket. Because that was one of the only ways I thought I could get a fucking ticket.
I've never done it. I've never gone VIP with any ticket yet. I just can't. I'd love to do it, but it's just you kind of go, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. I got VIP tickets to Psychostick when they did their first UK tour.
Because boobs.
It's really cool. We got to do a meet and greet.
Yes.
And I have a bit of a story for this actually. So
you might have to speak up because you don't currently have a mic.
That's fine. I'm being picked up.
Cool.
So basically, because I got meet and greet tickets, they've got a song called Because Boobs.
They do? Because boobs.
So when I met them, I was like, can you sign my boobs? And Alex was like, oh, yeah, sure. And when they played Because Boobs, what you got to do when they play
Flash them,
boobs,
obviously.
You got to get your fucking tits out, right? Not one other bird, and I was gutted. But, yeah, and when they came back, because my friend who I went with actually like spoke to them, and they were like, "Hey, is Booby Lady coming?" Yeah. And sadly, I couldn't make it. So yeah, Psycho Stick literally know me as Booby Lady.
Nice. Did you not get your boobs tattooed afterwards?
I fucking should have.
I've tattooed a couple of signatures in my time.
Downside with doing that is you have to be very quick about it. Especially if you're at a festival.
Permanent marker is 2-3 days. Don't have a shower, you'll be alright. I speak from experience of that, so yeah, it'll be fine.
To fill in the listeners, if you don't know who Decklock are, they are the how do you describe them? The cartoon band for Metalocalypse.
Yeah, Metalocalypse, which is great.
It's a fantastic show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's fucking incredible. But they are the fake band that's all based on, but now they're actually a real band. I don't know what they do live because it's Brandon Small does all of it, right?
Oh, yeah. So he does primarily most of the vocals and lead guitar, and I think there's 3 other members of the band when they perform live. And then the backdrop is like they basically just screen a lot of the actual show whilst the songs are playing.
Because the show, I mean, that was one of the funnest parts of the show. For people who don't know, one, you should go and watch Metalocalypse because it's great.
Absolutely, it's
but like, one of the
fantastic.
really fun bits of the show is when they play these live gigs. This band that's basically like rules the world almost is.
The most brutal band in the world, isn't it?
It's like they'll play a show, but it's on top of like a walking like spider mech stage church that then goes through and kills a load of people and destroys half a city and shoots lasers everywhere.
My favourite one is the one in Finland where they wake a cave troll.
Oh yeah.
The cave troll comes and destroys most of Finland, and then they have to apologise later and kind of go, I guess we have to apologise to Finland.
Yeah.
Must be crackish.
Whale music.
Yes, exactly.
I love whale music. That was my. We're doing whale music.
Yeah.
Great show. Anyway,
That's gonna be fun. I don't care who the supports are because you don't need to go see Decklock. I'm going to see if I can get a ticket for that because if there's only a few tickets left already.
Yeah, it's going to sell out really quickly. Especially if it's the only show in the UK. That's just it's going to happen.
John, you said you got the O2 pre-sale net. It actually worked for you.
Yeah, so normally...
fucking stupid site as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. So normally when O2 Priority comes through, you find out about it once all the tickets are sold. And you're like, hang on. I've been an O2 customer for nigh on 24 years now, I think, when it used to be BT Internet. And so you always log in and then it sends you through to Ticketmaster and then it just shows pre-sales happening now. And I was like, I know, I'm a customer. Where are my pre-sale tickets? But this time I went straight in, straight on, straight through, and I was just like, what has just happened? Because I've been wanting to see this band for so long, and the tickets were less than 50 quid, and I was just like, wow, today's a good day.
I remember talking to you a few years back, and you were considering going over to New York just to see Decklock.
Yeah, because they were doing a tour with Baby Metal and... I can't remember who else it was. But it was the Baby Clock tour.
Baby Clock.
Necrogoblicon were playing on that tour as well. And I was so tempted because they did, I think, about 15 US dates. And I actually looked into getting flights, accommodation and whatnot, and how much it would cost me. What was the quickest flight to get there and that kind of thing. So this was last year. The date that would have been easiest to travel to would be New York, and I've got family in New York as well, so that would have been a nice tie-in with that. But it clashed with, I think, Gryphfest last year, so I was like, no, I can't. I can't cancel Gryphfest because I could have done because I've done it with other festivals before, where I've moved Gryphfest because I'm going to another festival.
Shame on you.
But it didn't quite work out last year, and I think it ended up being. The cheapest and quickest to get to was Vancouver, which was quite remarkable. And I was like, okay, but you were looking at about £2,500-3,000 for flights, accommodation, maybe a hotel for like 2 nights, and then fly back again.
You'd have to have the time to turn it into a holiday. Like we're going to New York for like at least a week. Minimum and seeing the Death Box.
And that would be a time to buy the VIP tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're already spent out, you're like, well, $50 extra in a ticket isn't going to make much of a difference at that stage.
Yeah. I mean, I had a pretty interesting experience with the Not Glue show that I talked about. That me and Finn, who obviously works for you, John, going to
Not Loose. Here we go.
Here we go.
Settle in, boys.
But the only reason that I got those tickets so quickly is because Not Glues themselves had like a follow this link on our Instagram and it will go you through for the artist pre-sale. So that's like, once again, like that's how and you're right, like then it just took me to Ticketmaster and it was like, these things are currently ongoing, and I was like, okay, so I just clicked on that and I put in the code that if you went on Not Glue's site and looked at the code, then you had the code and you put that in, and then so I basically bought the tickets like 2 days before they went on general sale.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's really like, it took the artists to like, and the fact that Not Glue's promoted the fact that they were like, look, if you go to our website, here's the code, you can get in 2 days early for this.
That's cool.
Show. Like, that's the only reason that it happened.
At least the system actually worked.
I know, yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
you still get taken to about 3 different apps, because like first you have to go to Knockney, then you have to go to the O2 website, then it takes you to the Ticketmaster fucking like thing. Yeah, so it's
O2 and Ticketmaster,
they're linked. They definitely got to be linked, because they do too much stuff together, man. Like, you know, pretty much all the O2 shows are through
goes through Ticketmaster
now. So yeah, 100%.
I do like Ticketmaster, but O2 stuff is just a problem.
Man. I can never remember my password for the fucking app. I have to change it.
Oh, you know what's a pain in the arse?
Every time.
When you buy tickets in a different country through Ticketmaster, so I bought some Irish ones.
Yeah.
So you can see your tickets through, if you log into the UK one, for instance.
Yeah.
But when you buy them, you have to set it as the Irish one, even though it's the same fucking
so
account to log into it.
Yeah.
And like, you'll be logging in, kind of going, why won't that accept it? Like, what is going on? And you're like, I need to buy these tickets, hello.
Yeah. And what, you have to go into the options and change it
at the start, as you're logging in, it's basically saying, what's your country? And
you have to change the country on the thing. That's good to know, though.
So, there you go, heads up for everyone. Other big one, and again, not a Bristol one, but anyone into Guns N' Roses? No. Quickly moving on then, we're doing 2 dates next year.
Fucking
caught them once, and I was like, I guess that's it
once.
now.
Yeah,
again, that was Donington 2007.
Oh god, yeah, something like that.
6, 7, 8.
I think I was at that one as well, you know. Yeah,
it might have been 2006 actually.
Yeah,
same as the Arch Enemy one in Strapping.
No, you're right, because it's 2006, because 2007 I went to Vacuum instead of Download.
Yes, so 2006.
Much better idea.
And they were only 45 minutes late.
Yeah.
What
was that? Because when they rejoined, and there was that whole this is years ago now, but like there was when they were supposed to be Reading and Leeds, and then they were so late to Leeds that the Reading one or something, they were like, by the way, your contract states that if you're any later than 45 minutes now, we don't actually have to pay you. Like, that's what came out about it.
I'm guessing they were 44 minutes late.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's just bullshit, man.
Yeah,
hopefully he's gone out of that though.
I took that as
he never has, man. He's just like, let's be real. Like, he's never I don't. I understand what Guns N' Roses did for rock and roll. Like, I've watched the documentaries. I get it. I like some of their tunes. Fine. We all know some of them. Blah 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 blah. But it's like they just won't let go of the past. Him / the rest of them. Like, just grow up. Like, you're men and you're like, what, late 70s now, and you're still acting like these like, just fucking stop. Like this.
You're not in your 20s anymore.
Oh, mate, it just does my fucking head in. Just like, stop pretending that you're fucking children. Like, that's fucking whatever.
Or that you're God's gift.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that fucking, yeah.
Like the way Axel struts around, you're kind of going, you're not really that handsome anymore.
Yeah,
like,
mate,
you know.
the Botox is leaking, man. sort your fucking face out, Axel Rose. Sorry. That's mean.
Anyway, moving on. One I'm a bit more excited for, because it was in my top 3 albums, in fact, that we went through last week, was Kerry King's playing Bristol.
Yes, I saw. And he's only playing like 2 dates in the UK. And it's like Bristol and Manchester or something. That's what my Instagram showed me.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's like just Bristol and Manchester. That's the only 2 dates that they're doing with that thing. So we've got to get tickets for that soon.
13th to the 8th.
Yeah, because that's going to sell out really fucking quickly.
Which is the first day of Arctangent.
Oh, fuck's sake. Come on! God damn it!
Any announcements for Arctangent yet?
A few. I really want to go. I've never been to Arctangent.
It's nice and chill. I've only been there once.
Obviously, it's just outside of Bristol. Like,
you can right?
The annoying thing with Arctangent is they tend to like hold their cards pretty close to their chest. They'll announce a few bands, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, these look all right." And then suddenly, nearer when it's on, they'll just go, "And all these lot are playing." And you're like, "Oh, wait a second! Like, there's actually like fucking 5, 6 bands. Like, I want to see in that like lineup now." And suddenly they've announced like, hell, and a bit similar to Damnation, they'll do things where it's like bands playing like specific albums or playing this or doing that, and suddenly it's like, you know Swans are going to play all of like this album, and you're like, okay, I'd really like to see that actually, like, you know what I mean? It's yeah. So I mean, potentially could go to that gig that night and then still go to a couple of days of Arctangent.
Guess it depends on.
Mate, if you really want to, you can get a taxi back from Arctangent to Bristol.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hard. Like, it's
Where is it?
It's like, where is it, John? It's like just...
It's Fernal Farm, which is about 40-minute drive from here.
Yeah, you go.
Oh, okay.
There's like, that's what I mean. Like, if you really push, like, if you've got like a little bit of extra cash, you could just get back home.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to camp.
Yeah, there's a few taxis. I mean, if you're taxiing back, it's obviously recommended to book.
Yeah.
There's a few. I think there's a couple of shuttle buses as well that do designated stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you have a designated driver, it just depends on how late the show goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've announced quite a few for next year already. Carnival, Melvins, Rollo Tomassi,
Melvins.
Kailesa are coming back as well.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
Couple of dates. So Arctangent has managed to secure them, which is really cool.
God, Kailesa are great. I fucking love that band.
Yeah, so there's a handful already.
Rollo Tomassi are fucking good as well. They're a really good band. I've loved Rollo Tomassi since they first started.
I've no name.
I remember when they were like a mathcore band, and now you know what's funny? They're more of like that black and hardcore sound now, that more like kind of atmospheric fucking. But I remember they were like a straight up like mathcore band, and it was like, you know, the brother and sister, and they're like 16 years old doing that band. It's fucking, they're shit hot. They're really good. I love Rollo Tomassi. Yeah.
Sounds like you're going to Arctangent.
I know, and I still haven't gone, and it's right there, and it's, you know, so.
Isn't Arctangent the weekend after Bloodstock?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the other.
That's a fun week.
That's the other annoying thing is you want to double up. You've got to make sure you've got the money and the time and the liver to survive.
Because it used to be Bloodstock, then there was a week between them, and then it was Arctangent.
Yeah, now it's
the past few years they're back to back.
Which one moved?
So Arctangent is now earlier.
Yeah.
So Bloodstock's always been the second weekend of August.
Yeah.
So the year I finally got to Arctangent was the heatwave year of Bloodstock 2022.
Yeah. Where you couldn't see any band because it was like fucking 40 degrees.
Yeah, I watched like 7 bands the whole weekend. I was just like in my blackout tent dying.
I remember because I didn't go to that, and Boomtown was on the same weekend, which is the other, and like just every story out of both those festivals that were on that weekend.
And then I was like, oh fuck, I've got tickets for Arctangent next weekend. Is it going to be just as hot?
Was it?
No, lucky it was nice and breezy.
Cool down
it was much cooler, much more.
It's funny. One of the reasons I heard they moved it a bit early was
and I only did the 2 days
bad
as well.
times with the weather on the weekend after. They just had a few like kind of blowouts with the weather, so they were like, right, we'll pull it. That was the rumour I heard. They were like, we'll pull it 1 week forwards because maybe we just won't keep on getting hammered by the kind of weather shift. Like, yeah. But yeah, Arctangent. But to be fair, you could, like, because we live in Bristol, we could do both things. You could go one night and watch Kerry King and then still go to 2 nights of Arctangent. Or even do the day at Arctangent, get the bus or the taxi back into Bristol for the night to watch Kerry King and then go back to Arctangent again like the next day.
That's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
I 100% want to call Kerry King though.
I know, I've listened to a bit of it now because you were talking about it, and I've got to be honest, I am sold. I do.
It's
like
good, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
You listened to it, John?
Yeah,
From Hell I Rise album with Kerry King.
Not extensively, no. Just a couple of songs.
It's worth it.
In the background.
Tom's been going on about it, and I actually gave it a bit of a bash. I mean, like you're right, it's very Slayery, but it is a lot of fun. Yeah. Like it's
very good Slayer.
It's good Slayery as well. Like yeah,
it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. In fact, it's only 2 dates in the UK as well. The thing is, we've got to get the tickets sooner because that's going to sell out really fucking quickly. Like,
who wants to buy me a Christmas present?
Just saying. We're getting you a cheese board, Tom.
The cheese board he doesn't understand. He just stares at it going, what's this? I don't understand why this cheese board.
With a little picture of Go next to it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand any of this. That's tickled me, that.
Nice, thanks. Yeah. Another one. Again, I'm not sure they're doing a Bristol one. They wouldn't be anyway. There's no venue for them. Maybe Cardiff, but they've announced more dates. This was only the London one I've seen. But Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
Wow.
That's a hell of a lineup.
Still going.
Yeah, he's probably
now, man.
A bit more zombie than human at this stage.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. It's old school. I know Judas Priest are still putting out some really good bangers.
The one they put out, the album they put out this year is very good.
Yeah, but the album before they put out was really good. Like they're still so solidly putting out Judas Priest albums,
and it still sounds very much like Judas Priest.
You know, his voice is still good. Like people have said he's missed a step, and then I listened to some of the new stuff, and then I had a mate who I trust very much said that he saw them live, and he's like, "It's not. I don't know what I was talking about. Still fucking do it. Like, it's still going for it. Like,
yeah. Well, last time they did Bloodstock, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
It's like their 50th anniversary, I think.
Jesus.
Judas Priest.
No, I'm
50th.
dying, I missed that.
I was supposed to see him. They were doing the same tour with Ozzy. But then Ozzy got totally fucked up and couldn't move and can't leave country. But yeah, they cancelled that twice. Yeah. But it was the same as the 50th anniversary one.
I just fucking love him, man. Like, you know, obviously as a queer person, like,
what he did back in the day for the community.
Mate, he was doing leather daddy stuff, and all these like straight metal dudes were like, yeah, we're all gonna dress like this and wear these straps with all these spikes and all this. Yeah. And it's just like then he came out and said he's gay, and everyone's like, what? It's like, no, this is really hard. It's like, it is hard, you know, but yeah, like it's all coming from somewhere that you guys don't understand.
There's a beautiful irony about that people were getting so into it that it was like, oh yeah, it's the hardest thing ever, and
there's stories about guys like straight up like just not believing it, like thinking it was like a CIA like fucking lie that
it's a conspiracy.
Like, he was gay. It's just like fucking mad. But yeah, no, I love Judas Priest, and so I do love the fact that they're still putting out. I've listened to like the 2 singles they released from the new album. I haven't actually listened to the new album fully yet.
Crown of Horns, I think, is one of them.
Yeah.
Invincible Shields is probably the other.
It's really good. Like, and like I said, the album before was just fucking. Is it like Weapons of something? It was called. It was just like bangers from straight to finish. And,
absolutely.
Like it's just fucking great.
So yeah, when I looked this up, they had only done the London one, but they have now announced a few other UK dates.
Okay, it'd be cool to go and see him.
And that is
I'll be brutally honest, I'm not that fussed about Alice Cooper.
No,
like, I'd be going for I've seen
he's definitely worth seeing if you've not seen him before.
I saw him, and I saw him like a bit back in the day as well, where maybe he was a little bit more mobile.
I think the first time I saw him was Sonosphere 2010.
There you go. See, that's every single time you keep on just saying the times. I'm just like, that's where I saw him. I forgot. My rotten brain's forgotten. Then John says this, and I'm like, that's where it was. I saw him. It was 2010.
I can't remember what year he did Bloodstock, but that was good too.
Does he still put on a good show, or is he just an old man trying to put on a show?
If you've seen the show before, it's quite predictable because you're like, all right, now he's going to chop his head off.
The guillotine comes out, and now he's this.
But yeah, I mean, it's good nostalgic fun, really. For the most part. And he is 76 years old.
Is he 76 now?
He's the same age as Ozzy. I think Ozzy's 76 now as well.
Still going. He was never that harder, heavy partier, though, was he? Like Ozzy,
not particularly.
Like that was,
Ozzy doesn't remember decades. Like it's not even a night out; he just doesn't remember decades. So
that's fair.
But yeah, I think that'd be quite fun. So I've never seen Alice Cooper. It'd be probably fun to see him before he dies.
See him before he's dead.
Oh, sorry to say that. Oops.
I mean, to be fair, we have to kind of say the same thing about fucking Judas Priest, though. Let's be honest. They're not exactly spring chickens either. You know what I mean?
Another one at Bristol Marble Factory is Power Trip.
Yeah, Power Trip. That's going to be a good show. I want to get a ticket for that.
There is no mention of sports renting, but that's February 24.
Yeah.
Marble Factory.
The good thing sometimes with some of these, when they do the no support announcement, is that what they actually do is pull in, like what Soulfly did. Is then what that means is that they're going to pull in a local or maybe 2 local acts for every show.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate it when the bigger bands do that. They actually go, yeah, fuck it, we're touring with no support, and every gig venue like promote. You recommend to us who the bands in your local area are that we should have.
Which is quite cool.
I think it's great. I think it's a really cool thing to do.
It's a great way for the bands to get exposure, but also for the bigger bands to kind of go, actually, they're fucking badass.
Yeah, 100%. You know, like look at what just happened recently with the Obituary show, where obviously I've forgotten what the support band's name was. But they had to drop out, and for the Bristol gig they brought on Overpower, who obviously are kind of local Bristol thrash hardcore band, and they like literally every single mate who went. I didn't go to the show, unfortunately I couldn't go, but like they were like, and I saw when I saw Overpower got announced, I was like, you have to see Overpower. I've seen them a few times, they're really good, and everyone went and everyone's like, oh fucking Overpower, fucking sick, like they're fucking awesome. So it's like really bolstered Overpower as like a band that's up there in the kind of thrash scene. So yeah, awesome. It works really well. You know.
The only other one I've got is the heats for Metal to Masses.
Yeah.
So the February one.
It's all in February, isn't it? It's the 4 heats.
No, there's February, April, June, and May.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did I put that?
Well, I mean, two of the I saw. Funny enough, when we get to talking about gig stuff, one of the bands I saw recently, but it's going to be cool. It's looking really good. Obviously, the Cruelty Circuit Boys. Shout out to them. You know,
that's very cool to see
they're going to be. They're giving it a second go, so that's going to be really, really cool to see what happens there. I still don't fully understand. John, do you have more of the inner workings of how Metal to the Masses works a little bit? Because I still get really confused about how the whole thing kind of works. Yeah.
Not especially. No, I don't particularly know how it all works. I've always wanted to be involved somehow, but obviously the Gryphon is only a 50 cap venue, so there's no point doing like a popularity contest in a living room when what you need is people voting in numbers, basically. So it's They
seem like they've tied in pretty well with the exchange now, which seems to be, because I remember they used to bounce around a little bit from different venues.
So in that respect, obviously, bigger venues are better for it.
I'm surprised. I'll be real. I'm surprised you've never been asked to judge.
So am I.
So am I, motherfuckers.
Has Dave legit been asked to be a judge?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. You said that today, and I was like, fucking hell, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So that was David from Black City.
I don't know what the judging process is either.
No.
Whether I've never been asked to be involved in that. But there's a good score of bands
quite a few of them
playing this year. Yeah, I think most of the bands on the line have played here.
They've all played in the Gryphon.
Monochrome definitely have. Cruelty Circuit have.
Yeah, Pyrogarric recently played with Goat Major.
That was only a few weeks ago, right?
Yep, Buried in Bermuda played here, Smilemore, Mandragora.
So Smilemore are the ones that I saw, so I've tattooed two of the members from Smilemore. I'm mates with a couple of them, so I actually went and watched their gig. They headlined the Exchange Basement, what was it? Last Friday, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't. I've forgotten that. But they were very fun. Both the band members did a very bad job explaining what their band's like, and then I went and watched them, and it's like early System of a Down. Like, it's very.
That sounds pretty easy to describe.
Bill from Cruelty Circuit was there because they're very obviously style-wise, they both really support each other. They really like each other. But yeah, they were loads of fun. It was like really, really good vocals, really like kind of intricate, kind of like mixing it from the groove stuff to the more like kind of new metal-y breakdowns and stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So Smilemore, potentially, definitely have them on the show at some points when they're in the Metal to the Masses next year. So I had a really good time.
Any of the bands that are announced first, hit us up if you listen. Yeah. Be awesome to get to talk to you and follow you on your journey.
I think it'd be interesting to try and talk to whoever it is that's actually. Do you know who's running the Metal to the Masses? See, exactly, that's what I mean. It's all a bit.
Again, I've no idea.
Yeah, I've got no idea either. So it's a bit hard to kind of try and figure out who's actually doing what anymore.
It's a pretty cool system though that they've got so many cities around the country.
Yeah.
They've got this Battle of the Bands set up.
It's all the different areas. I remember like one of the only main things I saw online was like basically a lot of the promoters having to like come out and say like, look, if you're in a band, you have to just apply to your local area, because they were having issues with bands trying to apply to like multiple different areas all the time. Like, it's trying.
I think a lot of that came down to where does the majority of your band live.
Right.
So if you've got 4 out of 5 members who live in Bristol, apply for Bristol.
That makes sense.
There have been a couple of years where I won't name names, but some bands have managed to
get onto both.
Get onto 2 different cities.
And you're like, okay,
that's a bit.
They
I
get
can see why you want to do it, but
they get 2 different runs at it, and it's like not really fair. Then,
and everyone else has just done one. It'd be interesting if we can do a bit more digging in that to see how the bands get nominated, what they have to do.
Cool. It'd be cool.
See where it goes.
I think it's the chaps in, or one of the guys in Mortishead that is responsible for helping out with the Bristol Metal to the Masses.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to like send some messages, some emails around, trying to figure out what's going on. Because I know they've just started an Instagram account, so I need to potentially I could message that and see what's happening with that and see if they actually respond. But it'd just be interesting to see what's happening, because obviously we're going to review all of the Metal to the Masses shows and try and interview as many of the bands as possible. So
maybe an exchange if they can get a bit more of an insight into their inner workings.
I think the exchange is just like cool. It's a set amount of shows that we know a certain amount of people are going to show up to. So
presumably it's ticketed, right? It's not just you show up.
I mean, they'll probably be like I said. I think let's be honest, it's only really going to be the final maybe that sells out. Completely. I think for a lot of the smaller ones, you can probably just show up. These first few heats, probably like show up on the door a little bit, but obviously go support. Like
Support local. We say it every time.
Support local bands. Go to smaller shows. Go and support the local bands. It's really important.
Come and get fucked up in the Gryphon before and after.
Please.
Anyone else have any?
Well, it's as I kind of alluded to before. Obviously, big hardcore show got announced, which is Madball. With Peruvian Necktie. I've forgotten the last. I'm really sorry, I've forgotten the last band's on. But yeah,
Peruvian Necktie are doing the rounds.
Yeah,
that's
they
the
do.
third or fourth time I mentioned them.
I mean, because they're a very good band. And yeah, they're playing the Exchange in Bristol, which is going to be insane.
Awesome.
I think it's either has sold out or it's very close to selling out.
When
I
is
grabbed
it?
a couple of tickets. Fuck, now you put me on the spot. Next year, somewhere between February and April, I want to say.
In 2025.
Yeah, in 2025. But no, it's early next year. Obviously, Madball are probably held up there as one of the godfathers of hardcore punk.
Awesome.
And the fact that they're playing the Exchange, like I'm surprised they're not playing SWX.
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. Like the fact that they're playing the Exchange.
They're doing that deliberately.
Maybe because they've kind of done it all. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
they're like, fuck it, we'll play the smaller venues. It's going to be more hardcore. It's going to be more old
Get the
school.
vibe
It's
back,
gonna be
the
more
old school
fun.
vibe back.
Speaking of that, that's what I'm kind of scared of with this show. I think this is going to be like a
Sign a
proper
waiver to walk
kids,
in.
Exactly, a lot of kids jumping off the stage, a lot of people losing their minds. It's going to be really rammed in there. So, I've got an extra ticket if anyone fancies coming with me.
Sure.
Take Tom to the Madball show.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. But yeah, so that's the other kind of big one that I saw that got announced.
John, from your point of view, you've a few coming up between here and the end of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, your big New Year's one.
Yeah, I mean my gig calendar for my personal visits is quite extensive. I'm already fully booked for a lot of gigs going into July, August already.
Wow.
A lot of the stuff that you've already mentioned, I think the big ones I'm really looking forward to are Opeth at the Beacon,
Yes.
which is the end of February, and Wardruna as well are coming over. I don't think they've ever played Bristol. They're playing on Friday the 21st of March, so looking forward to that. Bit of just atmospheric kind of chilled out pagan stuff. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Really excited, looking forward to that. I mean, obviously my gig listings for this living room are extensive. There's plenty being announced over the next couple of weeks.
John, give us the living room breakdown. What's the Gryphon living room breakdown?
Well, coming up imminently this Saturday. So another big gig looking forward to actually is Sayer, who are coming down.
That's be awesome.
Yes, Tom talked about that.
So Andy Marshall from Sale has a side project called Fwath, who are headlining my Silver Samling.
Fua, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's Fua. It's Gaelic for hatred.
Yes, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
sorry. Wait, how are you pronouncing that?
Fua.
Fua.
That's pretty cool. Gaelic for hatred.
Fwath.
I like it.
Sorry.
From
Andy.
Scandinavia.
Exactly.
So yeah, his side project. It's
like a raw black metal band, isn't it?
Yeah, they're playing here for my Winter Solstice with Offness and Sarkoth.
So wait,
that's gonna
when's
be
this,
cool.
sorry?
That's this Saturday, so
That's
it's going to
this
be the 21st.
Offness have been here recently as well, right? Or was that the
Offness
Moor?
have never played here. And
definitely been in
Sarkoth
Bristol
have never
recently.
been here. Yes, yeah, they've definitely played Bristol before. But that'll be their first time here
Cool.
with Sarkoth as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Bit of black metal Winter Solstice show.
That's going to be cool.
I just wanted to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot more into my black metal recently over the past couple of years. Heading down to London for Cosmic Void Festival, which is the festival I moved Gryfest for 1 year, because it's like there's 5 bands I want to tick off my bucket list, and I saw the dates and I was like, bugger, that's Gryfest. 13 I think it was. And then the guys that were organising Cosmic Void were just like, just move your festival, mate. And I was like, fine, okay.
Fuck you then.
Done.
I'll move my festival. I'll do
my
it.
festival if I'm
So I moved it a week later, so I can do better. I've now been going to Cosmic Void for the past 3 years, and it is just a great festival. I don't know any of the bands that are playing, but it's just one of those,
great, isn't it?
one of those things
Yeah.
where you just turn up and go, "Who's this? This
Exactly.
is great."
I love that. Like
Or
I said,
watch
I do
10
that with Damnation.
10 minutes and then just go and watch
I do
something
that
else.
with Damnation.
You did it with Doll There as well.
Yeah. You just go, you just go, you watch stuff. You know, you have a good time. I love doing that. Just like take a punt, go, and then you're like, oh shit, this band's really cool.
Yeah.
This band's
How did I not know them before?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With stuff that is already announced and you can buy.
What's your New Year's then? What's the big New Year's one for the Gryphon?
Oh, so the New Year's party coming up. We have Broken Jaw, King Abyss, and Exhaust. So it's a night of punk and thrash.
Nice, that's nice, a bit lively.
Previous New Year's here has literally just been drinking downstairs. I haven't had anything.
Are you going to ticket? Are you going to ticket on the door of the pub? Or are you just going to ticket for the?
Yeah, so traditionally we ticket on the door of the pub, so it's £5 entry to get into the building after 8 o'clock. And then it's free entry upstairs to the gig, so you can
of course you
wander
can just
around
go in
and up
and out.
and down.
Oh, that's really sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, we start charging at 8 o'clock. It generally keeps that New Year's riff-raff out.
Just so the people
those
groups of lads who are just looking for anywhere to get fucking trashed.
And we're like, no, it's £5 each, and they're like, oh, we're not fucking paying that. And
go somewhere else.
We only want one drink, and I was like, well, you're the kind of group I don't want to be in here.
Because you're going to take up a lot of space.
It's more stress than it's worth.
Go up to the woods, mate. Up to the woods, up Park Street, up to the woods with you.
So it's only £5 entry New Year's Eve.
Do you have any special beers coming in? Or can you tell us?
I don't recall what I've got in the cellar other than yummy dark stuff, basically.
Nice.
So the usual. Yeah. There'll be an extensive lineup of guest beers. Yeah. And then we're open late till about 3 a.m.
Nice.
When party winds down, that kind of thing. So
we'll give it a go. Quite December mostly for here, I mean.
Yeah, so that's our last gig of the year is on Saturday, and then it's New Year's Eve. And then we kick off again mid-January.
Nice.
So we have Suffering are coming back, Cattle Hammer.
And
Hexen.
That's a name I haven't heard that before. That's a cool.
So that'll be our first big gig of the year.
What kind of stuff? Is
so Suffering will be. Put me on the spot now. Black
metal.
Metal
stuff. Something blackened.
Yeah, something.
Black and heavy, dark.
Yeah.
Evil, brutal stuff. Yeah. And I think that's one of the first gigs of the year that we've got coming up. There's another one to be announced later this week, which I shan't.
Can you do the thing that you did when we started this podcast? So you sent me the list of what you had actually planned in.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
That is good to know.
Start bringing up all the gigs and stuff. Yeah.
So there's a handful of tickets already available through our ticket outlet that you can get for now. Big ones I'm looking forward to are. Well, Desert Storm's already sold out, so you can't get tickets for that. Desert Storm, Sergeant Thunderhoof.
When's that?
That is on the 8th of February.
Wow, that's already done, is it?
And that's sold out.
Dusted.
I think that's sold out in 2 days.
Wow.
Good effort.
Yeah.
Countless Skies are coming back. Favourite band of mine. They play melodic death. Very technical, quite proggy, and they've played here quite a few times, and looking forward to that. They're bringing over As the Sun Falls from Finland and Opia, who've never played here before.
They were in the remember the night we went up to the
yes they were, weren't they? What was it, what the fuck's that pub called?
Old England.
Old England. That's the one,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they opened for Scandalline, didn't they?
They were good. Yeah. No, it sounds like, John, like you've got like gigs on gigs on gigs. We can't wait to like come to some of them and do some stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot to be announced already, and like I said, I've got a lot booked up already.
It sounds like what did you say you're booked up to? Like April time, basically.
I think I don't have any weekends available until like July, August.
Wow, there you go.
Good.
And a big gig being announced tomorrow, but I'm not allowed to say anything.
You can tell us.
But if you're listening to this now,
this will come out when like latest. You could just tell us. Tell us what the gig is. Go on. Because this doesn't come out for like.
So Electric Eel Shock are coming back.
They're coming back
the Gryphon
from Japan. Yes. I love those guys. They're fucking great.
So this is announced on Wednesday, which will be.
You're like Electric Eel Shock, Tom. They're a lot.
Wednesday, of fun. Never heard of them.
Really.
So Japanese band. They were one of my bucket list bands to book into the Gryphon. I've been listening to them for about 20 years. I've seen them 7 or 8 times before, and they did a 30th anniversary tour last year, and a agent approached me and said, do you want to book them? And I said, yes, fucking please. Sent email, and then I sent follow-up email just to reiterate, because I literally said, yes, fucking please. Sent.
in all caps.
Yeah.
All fucking. Yeah.
And then I followed up with, yes, please, thank you. That would be wonderful. And we worked out, and they played last year, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
It was really good. That was
sold
at
out
that
show.
gig.
The entire full show is on YouTube as well, so you can go watch that Electric Eel Shock at the Gryphon.
Their drummer plays in no clothes apart from a sock.
A big long sock. It's like a 4-foot sock, and he's waving that around.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I can't believe they're coming back, so I'm really excited about that.
Great
support bands will be Kamikaze Test Pilots, who are from Zimbabwe, but they live in Reading these days.
Okay.
They've played here a couple of times before, and they're fantastic. And openers will be Dresden Wolves, who are Mexico post-punk duo who are lined up to play Desert Fest in London.
Okay, cool.
So
they're going to come and open that up?
Yeah, so they're going to come and open that for me. So like I did earlier this year with a lot of Desert Fest stuff, I ended up doing my own kind of like little Desert Fest festival.
But that's really cool. They come and play, like, you've got that connect with Desert Fest, and they come a lot of these bands come and play here, like either first or after.
They'll come over to play Desert Fest, and then they'll look for other venues to make it worth their while. And
you've become one of those venues. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I managed to pick up quite a lot of Desert Fest bands this year. So I did an entire week of Desert Fest bands.
Okay.
And I did approach Desert Fest and said, I'm getting all these bands, can I stick your logo on stuff? And they very politely said, thank you very much, we appreciate the courtesy, but they obviously don't want to be associated with any of the outside stuff. But I did my due diligence on that one. But it was fantastic.
But it still means it gives people another shot at seeing
Yeah.
stuff, and the fact that you're bringing it down to Bristol from Desert Fest is a big deal. It means that people get to see these.
So by the time you're listening to this, tickets will be on sale.
There you go. Go buy your tickets now.
Sold out.
Oh it's sold out. You can go.
Thank you for listening for the first part of our special episode. We'll be coming back with part 2, where we talk to John more about what it's like working at the Gryphon, some personal life stuff, and having a general gas about what it's like running the Bristol's heavy metal pub. And we will be getting this in a couple of weeks' time. Lots of love.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.